The first thing I want you to think about is auditing or watching a potential trainer. Something that happens is many times horse friends will recommend, hey, here's a trainer I know, they're great, they've done wonders with my horse, and that may be wonderful. But every relationship between horse trainer and human student is very different. And so I always suggest, if you have a recommendation of someone that might be someone you want to work with, head on over and be sure to watch them not only handle and work horses, but listen to their teaching style. Because even if they're able to get great changes with your horse, if you don't understand what it is and how they're working with your horse, it won't help you when you're at home. Another thing you should do is visit the facility. Be sure to have the opportunity to walk around, to notice what is the general state of the horses. Does it look like they're stressed out, or they're pawing or weaving or whinnying to each other, that there's a high energy in the facility, or does it feel like they're pretty relaxed? This can really affect what your horse's experience is and their ability to retain the new training. Plus, it affects how you feel when you go to learn with that trainer. The third thing to consider when thinking about working with a new trainer is time and budget. And this is a big one that people don't want to talk about, but being able to have an open discussion with a potential trainer as far as not their ability to look into a crystal ball and say by this time your horse will do X, Y, and Z, but how do they work in their program with the individual horse? Because many times owners aren't particularly realistic about sometimes the amount of time and effort it takes to perhaps re-educate a horse and then add new training. And many times training gets cut short, and then the owners feel frustrated because they've invested all this money and their horse still isn't to where they were hoping they would be. The next thing I want you to think about is communication, and this is huge. And this isn't just about in the trainer teaching the human, but this is about what happens when you're not there. Do you get weekly updates from the trainer? Is it through phone call? Is it through emails? How do you know what is happening with your horse? All too often I get horrific phone calls every single week from people who've sent their horse off to trainers and then gone to pick up their horses and find their horse in a ill state physically and mentally, and they wind up having had a lot more damage done for going to training than actually helping the horse. And the last thing I want you to think about when you think about searching for a trainer is, are you available to learn? There are many people who have this ideal that if they send the horse to the trainer, that the trainer can fix whatever the problems are. But the reality is, no matter how much training that horse has, if you are not willing to educate yourself and take the time in understanding what and why and how things are done, your horse will not be able to retain all of the training that he was exposed to. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. All social media platforms, be sure to search for me, #Alternative Horsemanship.